الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل رب زدني علما. قال الإمام النووي رحمه الله تبارك وتعالى ونفعنا بعلومه في الدارين. قال باب حق الزوج على المرأة. قال الله تعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم فالصالحات قانتات حافظات للغيب بما حفظ الله. النساء. So here Imam Nawawi starts with another chapter which is obviously very closely related to the previous, which was the rights or the chapter to treat kindly and beneficently the lady folk, and here the chapter of the rights of the husband upon his wife. So he starts with the ayat from Surah An-Nisa, الرجال قوامون على النساء. Now we will have a very detailed explanation, inshallah, of this ayat because it requires a lot of elucidation, particularly in the time and age that we live in. So when we get there, inshallah, we'll take the time to explain in detail. But here, a basic summary. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states that men are qawamun. Qawam means someone who is responsible, has given a position of authority, at the same time responsibility and accountability over someone else. And so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that positioning is granted to the men over the women, which doesn't mean that they're tyrants over them, but it means they have authority. There's a hierarchy. In Islam we have hierarchy. Men are not equal to women, women are not equal to men. They are different. They constitute the unit of the species of human beings. And men are different, women are different. We'll talk about that in more detail when we get to that place in tafsir. In any case, so men are responsible and accountable and have authority over the women. And why is that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bima faddalallahu ba'dhum ala ba'd. Inasmuch as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given some particular virtues or particular qualities and characteristics to some over others, and some meaning the men over the women. And all you have to do is look at the physique of a man and a woman, and we can understand that, and it should be pretty logically absorbed and understood. But somehow, man in his tainted lens in the day that we live in, looking through the lens of his intelligence without the divine light of guidance, of course everything is tinted and distorted. So, as a result, that man has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more strength, and also along with that different types of strength, and also in terms of his intelligence or in terms of his aql. Not that women are less intelligent than men, many times it's the other way around. But, as we probably mentioned previously, that men's mental process is not overpowered generally by their emotions, whereas women tend to be overpowered by their emotions, and they have to be like that. Otherwise they couldn't perform the duties of motherhood and sometimes wifehood as well. So because of this overpowering of emotions, the balance of mental process balanced with emotion is different in men and women. And as well, obviously, since the men are responsible and they are accountable and they have been given that authority over the women, so they are responsible to spend on them and take care of them and protect them. بِمَا أَنْفَقُوا مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. So, also because of the fact that they are responsible to spend, and therefore the women they are not required to work. A woman can definitely say, it is your responsibility, O husband, to provide for me, not for you to provide for you. Here we have this thing, it has to be 50-50, 70-25. Nothing of the kind. That's why our women are like queens in their palaces. They're not like, indentured laborers that are sent out into the workplace and into the market. No. No. If a woman wants to work or she has to work, there's no restrictions on that per se, outside of the restrictions that Sharia imposes on any situation. There's a different story. So, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions who are the pious women, who are the women who are responding appropriately in that positioning. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, so therefore, it should be understood that the pious women, the righteous women, are those who are qanitat. Qanitat basically means obedient. They are attentive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also in their responsibilities in the world, and primarily to their husbands. Salihat, qanitat, hafidhat, and they are protectors, lil ghaib, for the things which are unseen, and or the situations which are unseen. So this would pertain to her person, to the wealth in the house of the husband, and all that needs to be protected, she will be very particular about doing so, and being very protective about those things, and very cautious. Bima hafidallah, and she will protect, she will observe the protective custody of these things and her own chastity, etc., just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected her rights and has given her the positioning in Islam that the women previously did not have. They still don't have outside of Islam. The women's liberation is more like the women's degradation, if you really analyze it for what it really is. And inshallah there'll be more discussion on that in its appropriate place. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, subhanaka wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum.